So it's nearly time. The playoffs are here. League One, the first semi-final is 5 minutes away. Stockport fans have made the journey to the capital. Glorious day as well. Sunshine and the sunglasses are on. Big numbers at Brisbane Road to see this first semi-final. And Leyton Orient have never lost a home game in the playoffs, Joby. How important they make home advantage count in the first leg today?
Yeah, listen, I think really important they get off to a positive start, Jules. The way they finished the season, I think they'll be coming into it, so full of confidence. And I think it just gives you that platform going into what we know will be a really difficult second leg. And again, you can take confidence certainly from that run. I know that Peterborough game in particular, I went off the back of that. The season after is still a game that's spoke of so highly. It's one of those that's remembered. And that's what these players have got an opportunity to do today. Put a marker down that in years to come, fans look back on this as a real big day for the club. And
I wonder if the Stockport players are aware that their team has never won an away playoff semi-final, scoring just a couple of goals in 6 attempts as well. Anthony, history might not be on their side. How does this Stockport team put that right today?
I think just their season generally as a whole, I think it'll give them more confidence going into this game today. I don't think the gaffer will read too much into that. I think they've obviously, the form at the minute is like what we spoke about earlier, so I think they're going to go into this one full of confidence. I think the gaffer will have them ready for it. Neither
manager known for being too cagey. Gareth, what are you expecting?
Yeah, Richie alluded to maybe letting Stockport have the ball, which could be dangerous. They're very good on the ball. They're players who can handle the ball. I think that I've come up against both of these this season as a manager, and for me, Stockport were very rotational. A real rotation in possession and out of possession. Where Leyton Orient probably you could predict their formation a little bit more, but they have energy to press. So it's going to be a really interesting game. But it's definitely one for the purists today.
Just finally, Joby, the fans are looking forward to it. There'll be nerves. What's it like for the players right now?
I'll be honest, I think from a playing perspective, you just want the game to start, Jules. There's that sort of nervous anticipation, excitement, a real combination, but you just want that whistle to go, have that first touch of the ball, build yourself into the game and go and be the difference maker.
Here we go then, 46 games down. These sides now have 2 left to book their ticket to Wembley. Who will strike the first blow in this semi-final today? Let's find out. As we join your commentary team, it's Lee Hendry and it's David Stowell. Afternoon, gents.
Afternoon, Jules. Thank you very much. And so here we are. The season extended, the emotions heightened, the reward almost in touching distance. The championship just 3 games away. This is where some delight in the drama, while others perhaps feel the fear. This is where the tension grows and the fingernails shorten a little. The optimism creeps in before the pessimism takes over. The full range of emotions are to come over the next 2 legs. That's the playoffs. And to the all-important team news. And some say momentum is key heading into the playoffs, so 6 wins in a row is a pretty good way to warm up. Richie Wellens' sole change from the dismantling of Huddersfield is due to Jordan Brown's hip flexor injury. He's replaced by scorer from the bench against the Terriers, Azim Abdullahi. The Orient boss has labelled Ethan Galbraith the best central midfielder in League One, and it looks as though he steps infield to start in his best position on the eve of his 24th birthday. League One Golden Boot winner Charlie Kelman makes appearance number 50 for the club, ably supported by PFA Fans Player of the Month Jamie Donnelly and double scorer last time out Dan Ajay. And just like their hosts, Stockport County are in sparkling form, having suffered just 1 defeat in 13. Their only alteration from the Wickham win sees Fraser Horsfall return to captain the side in place of Callum Connolly. It's a side full of previous promotion winners, with 9 of the starting 11 having gone up at various levels, including Ollie Norwood, who has 4 Premier League promotions on his CV. 22-year-old Ethan Pye swept the board at the club's awards do, picking up 3 trophies as Young Player, Players Player and Fans Player of the Year, and the Hatters are boosted by the return to the bench of Lewis Bate, who was named in the League One Team of the Season. Well, it is a glorious day, a huge occasion, and Lee, just like last weekend, you fancy Dan Ajay to be one of the difference makers today.
Yeah, I really do. I think he was excellent last week. Just watched his game, managed what he does on the football field, and he capped off a fine performance with 2 really good goals, in fact. And you just look at his energy, what he can produce in games. The high turnovers is massive for Leyton Orient, as we can see. They've been clinical when they've got in them really good areas. He's been firmly amongst it. Stockport need to manage and keep firm eyes on him, because he could be the game changer. as for Stockport, the two strikers, I mean, that's key, isn't it? We don't see that very often in football, and Alafi and Wootton are a handful. They proved it in League One this season. The goal contribution, I'd say little and large, but you've got Alafi who will go in behind. Wootton can hold it up and bring players into play. I think that could be the difference today. Two taking on them three centre-halves could be a big, big problem.
So we're almost set and ready to go. Final words from those on the field as they get set and ready in the right mindset for battle. Over the last 6 league games, only Leyton Orient have collected more points than Stockport County in the division. In that time, only Barnsley can compete with these two teams in terms of goals scored. We have all the ingredients here for a pulsating playoff classic. And once the pre-match dust settles, it will be Leyton Orient to get the ball rolling. Our referee is Ben Speedy. It's his 4th Orient game of the campaign, most notably overseeing their penalty shootout win against Derby in the FA Cup. And a 3rd game in charge of Stockport this season, most recently refereeing their 2-0 win at Exeter City in March. An exhausting, enthralling campaign extends that little bit further with a shot at glory in the offing for whoever can go that extra yard over 2 legs. The regular Saturday-Tuesday routine has got these teams to this point. The question now is who can prosper on Saturday and Wednesday to find a way to Wembley. Richie Wellens immediately taking up his usual position up on high. We do have 2 managers, both alike in longevity today. Both Richie Wellens and Dave Challoner have been with their respective clubs for over 3 years, a feat which is rare these days, and indeed is only matched or bettered by 5 other current EFL bosses. They have been tremendous at the helm of their respective clubs.
Yeah, they really have, and that's what both sides are here, trying to progress into the Championship.
Here's Alafi, early test for Edmonds Green. Omar Beckles has to react and does. So important at the back, not just for his ability, but his mentality as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was touched on in studio, you can't buy experience, leadership, and that's what Omar Beckles does. He reads the game particularly well. He's got it all to do today, mind, against 2 very good strikers, indifferent, cause problems, try and move him, shift him out of his areas that make him feel uncomfortable.
Edmonds Green trying to usher it away. Taken on by Donnelly, who was stopped in his tracks by Ibu Toure. In some ways, history is completely irrelevant on a day like this. For the players, that is. Maybe it plays on the minds of the fans somewhat. As they were touching on in the studio, Leyton Orient have never lost a playoff game at home. Stockport County have never won a playoff game at an opponent's ground. But records, as they say, are there to be broken.
You're dead right, David. You are. I mean, listen, permutations we can look at in these games. We just don't know what we're going to expect, do we? I mean, this is 2 very good teams. I'm sure that will not be in any of their minds today. By the way, what a fantastic day it is as well to play football and to be alongside you, David. Might add.
Well, you're a gentleman. I don't say that too often. Leyton Orient throw-in.
Also interesting as well, looking at the formations, the way we're setting up. We didn't know if they were going to match each other up today. With it being such a tight contest, 2 very good teams. And it does look like at times they will do so. I think it is a back 3 for Stockport that possibly could turn into a back 4, back 5. I think there'll be a bunch of different bits of movement back there throughout this afternoon.
Well, that's the conundrum with coming up with the graphics that we come up with pre-match, isn't it? Because these days you often see a side play one formation with the ball and a different formation without it.
Yeah, and that's what managers do, don't they? I mean, we see inverted fullbacks, we see fullbacks getting high and wide. This is a formation that's certainly what you need to use, is fullbacks and getting wide. And I think, particularly for Stockport, Toure might be the more defensive-minded one in this system formation, that Vince Fevrier being more of an attack-minded player that will probably play further up the pitch, but possession, that's a different complex.
Kyle Wootton has stolen in behind Leyton Orient here. He has Olafe in the middle, but he only had eyes for goal. And Josh Keeley made sure the path was blocked.
And this is brilliant. I mean, just have a look at the movement from Wootton, and this is what I said when you have two centre forwards. He just holds his run, he goes, but if you look on this side here, he's just being played on. Galbraith that's playing him on side, and he's very limited. Credit to Leyton Orient, they get back defensively, and there's not a lot of options really. He's looking for his partner in crime, but he has to go alone, and he forces a big save there.
Well, you mentioned Ethan Galbraith there. It's interesting to note that he has stayed in that right wing-back role rather than tucking in central midfield. So many little tactical tweaks that we might see throughout the course of the game. But always interesting to see how things start off. Here's Donnelly, who's really caught the eye this season. Pulled in towards Charlie Kelman, who's the man of the moment for Leyton Orient. It took two to really make sure the ball didn't get through.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows what both sides were intending to do. As you said, cat and mouse, game of chess, all of that. I think that might come into play today.
It will be a Randall Williams corner. Trying to fizz that into the danger area, and it was met really well, almost perhaps too well, by Brandon Cooper.
Yeah, it's good delivery. And he does feel a little bit frustrated. Just have a look, he just comes and meets that ball, gets in front, and once it's headed down on the ground, which Cooper gets enough contact, it's one of them that I'm hoping someone might pounce on it. It might just bounce in that far corner. It almost did.
Quite a character, Brandon Cooper, as well as being a terrific defender. Here's Kyle Wootton up against Edmonds Green. He wants a corner. It's not quite going to roll his way. Already enjoying a little bit of space, a little bit of time on the ball. Player who can be so dangerous. One of 9 in Stockport County's starting 11 today who have tasted promotion success previously. The starting 11 have enjoyed between them 17 promotions to 5 on the Leyton Orient side of the fence. Just wonder whether over the course of these 2 legs that experience might perhaps tell. Maybe not, maybe sometimes it can work the other way. There are players on both teams who've suffered relegation, so will be even more hungry in this situation than others perhaps. Fevrier beaten to it by Brandon Cooper.
Brilliant from Brandon Cooper. He knows he's got it all to do. And Fevrier, one thing on his mind, he wants to take him on, he wants to be aggressive on his approach.
Charlie Kelman trying to help the ball break his way. What a season it has been for him. The Golden Boot winner in League One with 21 goals, 6 in his last 6.
He's had an astonishing season, hasn't he, and really showed Leyton gold for Leyton Orient. Top scorer. Really been brilliant, clinical.
Quite a footballing journey as well. Born in Basildon. His mother's English, his father's Scottish. He lived in Texas for a good 6 years in the early part of his childhood. A couple of relegations on the CV, a promotion with Leyton Orient. Terrific story this season. Randall Williams on the chase here. He's done really well to rescue that. Abdullah is in there, and was there contact? Well, the whistle is blown in Stockport County's favour.
It's great awareness from Galbraith. He's just looking for that big switcher play, which maybe just overcooks it. He knows that Williams will chase that down. He's got pace. just tries to reignite and put it back into an area where there's Leyton Orient attacking players joining in.
Challenged by Ethan Pye, and he wins the throw as well. Multi-award winner at the Player of the Year awards for Stockport County, and just 22 years of age. Tipped for great things by Dave Challoner and also anyone who you speak to of a Stockport County persuasion.
We've got such a good view from the gantry up here, and you can see everything that's going on. There is a real match-up in that midfield. And I tell you what, Ollie Norwood, he's the one that instigates a hell of a lot for Stockport. I think some might say one of the best in this league for what he does and his ability, but he's got the bull eye just all over him at the moment, not allowing him to drop into areas, get on the ball, receive it, and try and force Stockport on that front foot. You can see straight away there's not many options.
Here's Fevrier with Wooten and Alafe in the middle, joined by Collar. Randall Williams, though, kept his eye on the ball. Well, Richie Wellens up on high today for Leyton Orient. Paul Terry is pitchside. He was sent off last weekend for obstructing a throw-in against Huddersfield Town, but the punishment, the suspension, does not carry into the playoffs. So he is pitchside today, carrying out any instructions from Richie Wellens up top.
Yeah, it's a crazy one, isn't it? Richie Wellens, the majority up in the stands watching down, passing his messages on. Sometimes works, it's really worked for Leyton Orient.
Randall Williams down, but very quickly back up again. And very swiftly on the ball again, but offside this time. Oh, incredible to think that Richie Wellens has lifted Orient from the relegation zone to 6th place in the space of 5 months. They were in the mix to go down in early December, but since then only Birmingham City have won more points and picked up more wins in League One than Leyton Orient. The O's are on their longest winning run, 6 games that is, since November and December of 2012. Ethan Galbraith will oversee this Orient free kick. We've had nearly 12 lively minutes. Header up and over at one end of the field, a shot well parried at the other. Coriadai is after this one and makes the claim look simple.
He's a big presence in goal, isn't he? Coriadai. What a campaign he had last season at Crawley. He was fantastic in the playoffs. So moving on, as I thought he would do. He's got a bit of everything he has.
He's been a big character as well as a big player for Stockport County this season. He's actually saved a penalty against Wrexham. Jay Rodriguez was the taker, but unfortunately for Corey and Stockport County, the ball rebounded to the former Burnley striker, and he dispatched for the winning goal in late March. Williams with the throw here. Previous scorer in a League One playoff semi-final. Bolton's victory over Barnsley last season. Also a runner-up in the League Two playoff final with Exeter City, losing 4-0 to Northampton Town 5 years ago. Galbraith. That's a J for company. Abdullah as well, who was looking for Donnelly.
Yeah, brilliant. And whether Ethan Galbraith gets on the ball, he's got options as well. Just got a real tempo to his play. He's passing nice and crisp into Light.
Beckles wins a header. Drops for Donnelly. Trying to set Ajay free. Didn't quite fall for Kelman. Stockport County trying to marshal him closely in the early moments. Lafay felt he should have had something.
I agree with him as well. It's right below us, and what a shove. He gets his body there. Watch this. Means Green just gets all over him, just physically just forces him to the ground. So I'm very surprised that Speeders not blew up there for a free kick. Let play continue.
Here's Moxon. Previously a playoff final winner against Stockport County in the colours of hometown club Carlisle. Here's Lafay. Plenty charging in on it. It was dealt with by Cooper. Unorthodox but effective. Good battling from Randall Williams. He somehow emerged with the ball, but has now lost it to Fevrier. Ollie Norwood. It's a peach of a ball in. And Omar Beckles just did enough to put Will Collar off.
I'll tell you what, it's a brilliant ball in, isn't it, from Ollie Norwood. This has got pace, it's whipped in. Bring it back here, and this is what he does so well. Whipped in at pace, and it's always difficult, as you said. I think Beckles just does enough, because any full contact, and Collar gets on this, I think it's trouble. I think just that little nudge in the back just forces him to head it wide.
Moxon spinning it out towards Fevrier. He's getting a bit of joy out there now. Up against Cooper, and then it all unravelled.
Well, I'm not sure I want to see a replay of that, will he? Because that was a double touch. It was all looking very kindly.
Doesn't matter your vantage point, that wasn't a classic playoff moment.
No, it definitely wasn't. This is brilliant, isn't it? It really is. I wonder if they sell tickets for them views over there. Absolutely fantastic. Is that one of your apartments over there, Stowley? Prime seats, aren't they, then?
All four corners of the ground.
Yeah, it was brilliant when I walked in and an old couple just watering the plants over there in the far corner. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, look at that. Sun shining, great view. Proper football match.
Liquid refreshment of a different kind, taken on by some. Oriadai to Ethan Pye. Lafay once again trying to escape from the clutches of Edmonds Green, and he's got clear, facing up to Beckles, who is well supported by Donnelly. Everybody in either red or blue playing their part at the moment. A foul by Charlie Kelman.
It was a good bit of play for Stockport County there. Lafay did brilliant. And Green's just getting really tight on him every time that he's receiving a ball to his feet. Lafay just had the spin on him there that could have caused problems.
Well, of course, a reminder, if it were needed, that these semi-final ties are two-legged, but away goals do not count double at any stage. We're all level at the end of the second leg. Extra time will be played. If we're still all tied up at the end of extra time, it's penalties for a spot in the final.
This is an interesting one, is it? The action areas where, as I said, I feel like both sides have looked at this and tried to match each other up to a certain extent, and that's why I feel it's relatively even. You can see not an awful lot of attempts, but so that ball in the midfield area more so.
Galbraith with the header away. Richie Wellens has seen enough from up on high to decide it's time to get down to pitch level.
That's interesting, really interesting. Is he coming down and really stamping something on that he's seen from up above?
Ibu Toure on the chase, just running out of football pitch. Such an important part of the Salford City machine in the past, Ibu Toure. And ironically, he scored once in his last 165 appearances for club and country, and it came on his first game back at former club Salford for Stockport. Fevre back to Brad Hills. Ollie Norwood. Trying to find Will Collar. Sinclair finding a way out.
Yeah, he did brilliant. Both players did, actually, because how many times do you see that where the defender just can't get out and he gets fouled really cheaply? My pet hate of football, that is. Claire did brilliant.
Ethan Pye will marshal it back to Corey Adai. Stockport County have picked up their highest number of points in a third-tier season since 1929-1930. That's assuming 3 points for a win along the way. They had 91 that year. Fired into the mix with a few in blue hovering nearby.
I can only think that two centre forwards are not expecting that ball to come in from. He's had a lot of ball in these early stages. This is a problem down this right side and left hand side for Stockport, and that's why Alafe's asking the referee how many times. It's a couple of times this has happened now. He's causing problems, just either wanting it to his feet, but this time he comes short and spins, and that's where Edmonds Green pulls him back. Should be a yellow card for me.
Well, he can be a real nuisance on his day. Isaac Alafe, or Tanto Alafe as he's called. Season before last, he scored in the playoff semi-final, second leg win against Salford City in League Two. And he's already given Romani Edmonds Green a tough afternoon, 22 minutes in. Norwood's kick. And the flag will halt the Stockport County attack. Galbraith's clearance deflected away. Off Alafe.
An awful lot of instructions getting sent onto the field. Not happy, is he, at all? Wellens. I think he feels that Stockport are just growing into this game. I must admit that they've really grabbed it and
good second ball.
Really looked like they're instigating a lot more.
Put it in there. Good. Hook, hook, hook.
Jay. Ethan Pye appeared to take the ball from up here. Not the cleanest of contact from Moxon. Donnelly. Moxon in to win it back for Toure. Now to try and set Fevrier away. Immediately Collar, Wooten and Alafe all striding forward to join in. Once again, Brandon Cooper sticking to the task. Collar. Fevrier again. Opts to go in early this time. Seen off by Edmonds Green. Moxon, who can hit them. And there's the proof. Josh Keeley had to bat it away. Moxon might fancy another go, but for Jamie Donnelly's presence.
And it's a good strike from distance. Moxon, he wasn't going to turn it down, was he? Was waiting for that half a yard of space which he created himself.
He'll just run away from Wooten and they'll go all the way back to Adai.
Yeah, well, working these little situations well. Moxon there, he wanted that strike on. That's with Justin, struck it well. He forced a big save.
And he was a terrific player, Owen Moxon, at Carlisle United. And picking Stockport County in that eventual penalty shootout victory in the League Two playoff final a couple of seasons back. Williams firing it in. Ajay was there, so was Toure, and so was Adai.
What an outstanding cross that is from Williams. That is one that any centre forward, any striker, any attacking player absolutely thrives off. I mean, that is screaming out for Jay to really get into that back post and cause a problem. Oh, absolutely first class.
Shades of probably the best season he has ever had in his career, the 1920 season at Exeter City. 5 goals, his career best total, 14 assists. He was player of the season. Didn't quite pick that form out at Bolton Wanderers recently and has relished the time at Leyton Orient as a result of that. And Stockport are halted again by the flag.
Two sides are playing a back three, back five. I think this is where you use your wing backs, but Stockport have definitely got the ball into wide areas a lot better, haven't they? And that's why Fevrier and Lafay, who's drifted out onto this left side, that's where they've caused problems. But maybe in product, he hasn't quite been there just yet. There's been balls that have flashed across and dealt with. Brandon Cooper's dealt with Fevrier quite well, he thought. To be fair, any time he's been in that 1v1 duel, he's come out on top so far, Cooper.
Here's Donnelly. Kelman calling for it, that's where it was heading. But for the intervention from the returning Fraser Horsfall. Fevrier. Sudden burst of speed gets him in behind, and Josh Keeley just does enough.
And that's the first one he's actually won, isn't it? And it's just a punt forward, it is. He does brilliant, Fevrier. He just slows everything down. He knows he's got that burst and energy of pace. And that is a big, big save from Josh Keeley. It's at his near post, yes, it's one you would think he'd have to make, but it's a feat save that keeps it out of the net. It might even be off the studs, but brilliant play from Fevrier. He's dangerous.
He's matched his best ever season for goals this term. He's looking for another one. As there's a fair bit of pushing and pulling, and it's Leyton Orient's ball. Galbraith. And again from Donnelly. Abdullahi tried to go through Ethan Pye. We'll get at least a talking to here, and a few in Orient red asking for a little bit more in terms of punishment.
Yeah, I don't think so. As you said, I think it's just a ticking off, isn't it? Ethan Pye, he just stands in his way. I understand why they want more. Great little cheeky nutmeg there. A delight.
Richie Wellens once again, a bundle of energy on the touchline, as he always is. Talks about his philosophy, saying football is about being tactically okay, having talent, speed, technique and all of that, but sometimes at the end of the day you need heart, desire and grit. And he's trying to get that commitment from his players here. Donnelly's ball towards Cooper. Couldn't quite find Beckles. Back in from Clare, and Kelman's hovering! And Kelman's scoring! He is so often the hero. He is so often the difference. Charlie Kelman strikes again.
Well, well, well. I think they are asking. It looked very close to me from up here. But if you want it to fall to any single player on this football pitch, for Leyton Orient, it's that man, Charlie Kelman. The ball whipped in, is dealt with here, and then there is a flick on. He's headed back in, and I tell you what, I mean, it's just flick timing. As Clare heads it back into the danger zone. The touch should be offside. I mean, this is close, we have to look at, but it's a goal, it counts. Is there something there? Oh my word, it's a flick on and he's in acres of space, miles offside there. It is Beckles that gets the final touch, the flick on. I mean, look at Kelman, he's in miles off. Unbelievable what I'm seeing here.
It's a fine finish, but the flag never came, and Stockport County understandably are unhappy. Only Charlie Kelman's second touch of the match, and he has well and truly made it count.
Wow, I mean, just to look at that and how much of an important goal. I mean, it's not the right decision, is it, by any stretch?
There will be VAR in the playoff finals this season, but not in the semi-final stage. Semi-automated offside will also make an appearance in the showpiece final at Wembley.
Well, they needed it today, didn't they? Because, I mean, that isn't even close. I know that there's an awful lot going on.
Well, that's the key point, is if the officials didn't see the flick from Omar Beckles, they won't feel it's offside. It wouldn't have been offside had he not touched the ball. Something for Jules and the boys to pick through during the course of half-time, which is 15 minutes or so away.
Turner and his staff furious down there asking the question, and you can understand why, can't you?
Here's Beckles for Edmonds Green. Kelman chasing once again. Ethan Pye making sure he doesn't get there. Advantage played by Ben Speedy. Stockport County allowed to attack. Brad Hills, the Norwich City loanee. Headed away by Williams. Clare just levered off the ball by Collar, and then Clare bit back.
This will be a good talking to for Sean Clare. It's late.
One of those players who's been on the naughty step for Leyton Orient this season, having been sent off in the FA Cup against Derby County. He's gifted a free kick here to Ollie Norwood. Cooper with the header away as far as Moxon. trying to find room to ping one goalwards once again. Galbraith looking to charge clear, as he did last weekend, to set up Nazim Abdullahi. In a match where Leyton Orient were tremendous on the break, it's their way.
Well, let's have another look at this goal, because I can't get my head around this at all. I know it's recycled and clearly has not seen the touch. But, I mean, it's crazy, it really is, and what a big call it is. There's that slight touch. Oh, Beckles, but Kelman's in an offside position. He's furious, and I could totally understand that, because the linesman has got a decent view. It's a real slight touch, but it's a gift.
And it has come at a time when Stockport County were gathering that momentum.
I think they've been the better side in the first half, David, if I'm honest. They've controlled the ball better. They're obviously not more dangerous getting it into wide areas, but some football can change quite quickly, decisions, and that's what it is.
Charlie! Charlie!
Ethan Pye. Forward here to Alafe. Norwood. Round the corner, searching for Collar. Alafe. Delightful touch. Edmonds Green made sure there wasn't too much room for manoeuvre. Likewise Hills on Kelman. Bodies tumbling all over the place. There is an edge to this game now after that opener.
Well, there will be, but you have to get on with things. And there's lots of football to be played this afternoon and next week, so all done and dusted. You have to react and you have to respond in the right manner and the right way. A disappointment for sure.
There certainly is a gear change that's required in the playoffs, isn't there, in the sense that when you play a 46-game season with cup matches thrown in as well, they're very much 90-minute games that you have to try and win each one. Whereas this is a 180-minute game, if you like, spread over 2 different football pitches. You don't want to go too hard too soon and count yourself out of the equation. We've already seen in the Championship Bristol City have a mountain to climb after Sheffield United's first leg performance and that red card in that game. Who's to say they won't turn it around? But clearly the first leg can sometimes be very cagey because sides are careful, although it's not really how these two sides play. Galbraith.
Look, give it in! Give it in!
Jay managed to help it on. Donnelly will fancy it. Well, he can score from just about anywhere. Just ask Manchester City.
And I tell you, Jay does brilliant. He just gets that final touch. He wants it back, actually. I tell you what, he's been quite quiet, Donnelly, but he's more than capable of producing top moments like that, and it was very close.
Incredible moment in the season for him and for Orient in general, when he pinged the ball from just past the halfway line and it rattled the crossbar to go in off the back of Stefan Ortega. Unfortunately for him, it's not his goal, but everyone of a Leyton Orient persuasion knows it is, really. Ibu Toure lining up here for a long throw to test Orient in the air. Donnelly back there, it's a corner.
Tell you what, there's been a brilliant atmosphere around the stadium though, hasn't there? It's great to come to the old stadiums and really have that feeling, that buzz factor. I know there's a lot at stake, but absolutely brilliant.
Woodward's corner. Donnelly's clearance. Fevrier tying himself up a little bit, but finding Moxon, who offloaded that one straight into the face of Romani Edmonds-Green. And Ben Speedy here has no option but to bring the game to a halt.
He has to do so. Caught him flush in the face, maybe at the top of the head. And that dizzy feeling. Struck well as well. Moxon that takes that full strike on.
Now, back in the day, there was very much an attitude of come on, get up, get on with it, whereas these days precautions are taken to make sure that the injury or any issues picked up in a moment like that are properly dealt with. Now, contrasting emotions moments ago when the deadlock was broken for the two managers. Richie Wellens, it feels like ever since he came down from the grandstand here, has kicked every ball mentally, if not physically. Lamar Beckles rolling back the years. Rafa. Ball pinched back by Donnelly, who looks for Kelman. Oh, such a good 1-2 together. Ably supported by those around them. Rafa with Edmonds-Green. Edmonds-Green wins out. Galbraith. Lovely play from him. Moxon, though, was just a little stronger in the eyes of the officials. Norwood. Met by Abdullahi. Forward by Clare for Kelman, who looks for Ajay, who is quick but not quite that speedy.
Yeah, they look for them quick turnovers, don't they? They have that abundance this season.
Beckles and Wootton tangling together. Optimistic penalty shouts from those who've travelled from up north. He's played his part in a busy and at times hectic first half. Horseful. Norwood, delightful swing of the leg to just cushion it into the path of Toure. He's lost out there though to Abdullah. Jay and Kelman in support. Ethan tie back painfully in the end to help slow Leyton Orient down.
That was one of them quick turnovers that should have done better with. sure that Dave Challoner won't be pushing the panic buttons. Last 5 games, conceding first. And that does speak volumes of what this Stockport side's all about, the character they have. 0 defeats. They all feel that they can bounce back in this. As I said, it's over the 2 legs, but all worthy of getting back into this game.
Yeah, they've won 20 points when they've conceded first in League One this season. Only Bolton, Birmingham City and Wycombe Wanderers have picked up more. They are a side that very much picks themselves up and gets on with it again. They will argue that they shouldn't have to, of course, but Edmund screen to throw in the final minute of the 45. Back to Keeley. Let's not downplay the saves he's made in the first half as well from promising Stockport County attacks.
Yeah, I think the saves that we should certainly make from the goalkeeper's point of view, but they've been big ones, haven't they, when you reflect on this first half. Stockport have looked probably the more dangerous, but I know that Leyton Orient carry that threat with the turnovers that they have and the pace. The threat of Kelman.
Beckles forward, away by Toure. Galbraith poking it out towards Randall Williams. Cooper forward, Jay, who couldn't quite find Donnelly. That'll probably be that for the first half, Lee.
Yeah, I'm expecting a big reaction in the second half. I really am. I think it's been tight, hasn't it? When you look at all the stats that have been thrown on.
And that is half-time. And quite a bit to unpack from that first 45 minutes of the League One playoff semi-finals. A familiar story in some ways, with Charlie Kelman on target for Leyton Orient, but poking home from an offside position after the flick from Omar Beckles. Stockport County unhappy as a result of that, and they had forced some good saves from Josh Keeley before the deadlock was broken. But at the break, it is Leyton Orient who lead in the sunshine. Leyton Orient 1, Stockport County 0.
Well, as we approach the end of an action-packed Premier League season, the countdown begins to Sky Sports' biggest season ever. Get ready for a new era where 80% of all televised Premier League games will be shown exclusively on Sky Sports. That is at least 215 matches, up from 128 this year. We look forward to the drama to come, and we've had plenty in this League One semi-final. Richie Wellens started in the stands, came down to the touchline in time to see his Leyton Orient team take a controversial lead through Charlie Kelman's offside goal. Stockport and Dave Challoner aggrieved. Can they channel their frustrations into a response in the second half? They're known for a fight back. In the last 6 games, when they've gone in behind at the break, they've lost just once. Second half is next.
With holiday rentals and hotels, Booking.com has something for everyone.
See, so, you got anything more boutique?
Oui. Right this way.
Now we're talking.
What about something more family-friendly?
Maybe a resort with a water park?
Or somewhere less family-friendly?
Yep, one luxury hotel for the bride-to-be.
What if we hate everything?
We have flexible cancellation. Find exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com, booking.
Well, Dave Challoner wouldn't have been happy with a Leyton Orient goal, but up to that point, Gareth would have been happy with what he'd seen from his team.
Yeah, especially down this right-hand side, you know, Fevrier has caused Brandon Cooper a few problems. This one's Wootton obviously breaks the offside trap, and I think flashing this across might have been the best option, maybe not on goal, but this is the battle, the key battle, where I think that Stockport have had more joy than anything, and that right-hand side for me, the pace of Fevrier just could pay some dividends in this half.
A controversial goal it was. What's in store in the second half? Let's get straight back to your commentary team at Brisbane Road. It's Lee Hendry and David Stow.
Thank you, Jules. Well, Stockport County were sent out early, reeling from the controversy swirling around that Orient opener, and are clearly very keen to get on with proceedings here. They had the momentum for a fair bit of that first half. The wind taken out of their sails by Charlie Kelman's opener. And that's just added an air of spice to the occasion, as well, of course, as the air of importance of the situation here. Those in blue this season have proved they have plenty of bounce-back ability. When the chips are down, they've managed to turn things around. They're going to have to do so in this tie in general, if not today.
Yeah, listen, sometimes football, you know, you get the rubber, the green, or it goes against you. And you can't be sulking, they have to get on with things, unfortunately. We all know that goal shouldn't have stood, but I'll say it and I'll say it again, there's plenty of football still to be played.
Well, incidentally, the last 4 meetings between these sides have been away wins. As Ajay goes flying through, Ethan Pye with an emergency challenge to make sure that the lead is just one.
What a brilliant block this is, and a great run as well. Ajay makes that diagonal run. He's a danger. Well, have a look at this for defending. It's absolutely brilliant. Ethan Pye gets across. And that ball's just held up. And that is a real big block. Start of the second half.
Williams. Abdullahi saw the run of Donnelly, who couldn't quite squeeze it past Brad Hills.
And it's well worked. And little triangles of passing, rather than just throwing the ball in the box needlessly. Trying to work the area where Donnelly can produce. There's a bit of magic.
Abdullahi's corner, which wasn't the best, but wasn't also the... Lafay. Oh, what a hit! Owen Moxon. So close to something so special.
That was quite superb. I mean, the quick turner from Leyton Orient having that corner. This is what both sides are capable of doing. Lafay does well, actually. Beckles does well, then it's teed up, and that strike was absolutely on the money. Moxon felt that he was in a nestle in that top corner. Smashes off the top of the bar. Bit of a wake-up call of Stockport can produce.
Well, he hasn't scored for Stockport County, Owen Moxon, since joining in February. Hasn't actually scored for a year. His last goal was for Portsmouth in a 2-2 draw against Derby County. Here's Hills. Clare won the ball and then got chopped down to size.
And he's got to play that ball a little bit quicker. Seen the danger on that right-hand side with Fevrier. Touch here, that's where he wants to slide it. He's got his head down, Waters around him. It's his pocket picked, and then that's when he produces the foul. Totally cleans out Sean Clare.
Well, Sean Clare, one of the scorers in the game between these two sides at Stockport County in September. He's shown his importance to the side recently, coming back in after missing a chunk of games through injury. A key player, not just because of what he can do with the ball, but the various slots on the field which he can fill.
Yeah, definitely. in that sort of defensive role to play in that midfield. So you've got that little bit of versatility, experience. You've got the likes of Pratley on the bench that can come on and add to that in quality.
Throw towards Kelman. Gotten under from Moxon. Brandon Cooper. Delay back to Josh Keeley. Cooper looking for Donnelly. Tried to shield it from Ethan Pye. And it goes by Ributore. Galbraith. He's continued his run here, trying to open up Stockport County. And Ollie Norwood stood in his way.
Galbraith, absolutely fantastic play. He starts, he instigates it, but just watch his enthusiasm that he wants the ball back. He gets it back, and it's a brilliant tackle that is as well from Norwood to the rescue.
Two former Manchester United youngsters going toe-to-toe.
I do love to see that when your wing-backs want to get forward, want to try and produce moments of quality.
And it goes towards Beckles, who couldn't quite get over it enough.
It's a deep cross, it's whipped in, pace, Williams, and then physicality, the height. Beckles just doesn't get the purchase quite right.
Pye to Toure, who just had to get rid of it under pressure. Josh Keeley. Now Cooper. And up to Kelman. His touch was a bit heavy for Clare. He scythes down Tauto Olafe, and that's a yellow card.
Oh, no surprise here. It's that ball that just gets away from Sean Clare. He's never going to get there because Olafe is clever. He just lifts it over him. There's only one thing that was going to happen next. That's why he's in the book.
He perhaps feels that a few moments ago the challenge on him was worthy of similar punishment, hence the conversation with Ben Speedy, the referee. But for now, the main concern for Leyton Orient is that Oliver Norwood is standing over the free kick situation. It's a really tempting ball in. There were a fair few on the stretch there trying to get the touch.
Yeah, it's a tight line, high line from Leyton Orient. It's a teasing cross, actually, I think. Let's see that Wood gets the last touch. I don't think he's quite expecting that to come. There might be a slight nick before it ends up on one step of his boot. So that just slightly flew wide.
Brad Hills with the throw. Fevrier skipping away from Cooper. And it goes for Edmonds Green to somehow poke it behind. He had to be really careful there.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I mean, defensively as well, let's see the first bit of play. Wouldn't hold up play. Nutmegs, see you later, that's brilliant. And then the crossing. I'll tell you what's difficult outside of the boot. Edmonds Green gets it away.
Norwood's corner seen away by Donnelly. Moxon charged down by Galbraith. How's your touch? Randall Williams sees it out. Norwood caresses it into the middle. Once again, Orient deal with the danger. Fraser Horsfall still forward here. Nicely done by Toure, who immediately gets on his bike, looking to help out offensively. Moxon spinning it out to Fevrier. One way and then the other to find the space, but then the cross is not what they ordered in the middle.
Yeah, that's what's let him down, I feel. He's got the beating of whoever he's coming up against. It's Williams, the chop, and the injection of pace. Final ball's very, very poor. He's waiting to try and get on the end of something. A couple of times he's got himself in really good situation positions, and the product's not been there.
Nathan Pye is down here.
Just a little bit of an arm in the face there. Jay.
One of the younger members of today's cast list. Nathan Pye, Brad Hill, just 21 as well. Jaden Fevrier, 22. Here is Hills. Trying to help it into the path of Wooten, who's waiting in the middle. Norwood on the chase, and on the ground eventually. But Toure stopped the counter-attack. Likewise, Randall Williams.
I just wonder whether Llewellyn's is saying to Randall Williams, you have to help out a little bit more defensively. The keeper's had a tough time. He's dealt with him most times when Fevrier's got on the ball. He's the immediate danger, I feel.
Fevrier's throw, and it comes to Norwood, who just keeps it all ticking along. Sean Clare away. Leyton Orient protecting their lead stubbornly. Wooten. Ethan Pye to change the angle. Moxon. Fevrier. Swirling in all the time. And it's a penalty. Stockport County appealed, and Ben Speedy pointed to the spot. The shout is of hands, and the result is a spot kick of consequence.
Yeah, straight away they were all over Ben Speedy because the ball in was brilliant from Jaden Fevrier. First time he's put one in. I mean, the arm is completely up, away from his body. You can see Horsfall, he's going to head that ball. It's the right decision, it's the right call. I'll tell you what, it's a disappointment. I mean, does he have to raise his hand? Edmonds Green, this is a big opportunity for Stockport County to get that level.
And it is Oliver Norwood, who has been there, seen it and done it in EFL terms, who just takes a moment. So many positive promotion moments on his CV. He looks to add another. And he does! Amid the nerves and the tension, a finish of calm. A moment of composure, which could prove to be key for Stockport County.
Oh, brilliant. All in all, I think any player you want to step up in a moment where there's absolutely pressure mounted. It's that, Matt, the quality, the Rolls Royce of this Stockport County side. And this is tucked right in that corner. Pace, hard, low, even Keeley going the right way. He isn't getting it. This is the handball. I mean, Edmonds Green, what is he thinking about there? I'm not so sure. But it's the right call. Your arms away from your body. Horsfall's there to pounce. We've got a big game on our hands.
That is a big, big goal on the hour mark from one of their big, big players. Serenaded by those clad in blue who have travelled from the north. And Edgeley Park on Wednesday will be bouncing and painted blue, as they've been saying all week on their socials. Stockport County encouraging the colour to come out and support the club. It is a sellout. And just like this place, there will be quite an atmosphere.
Well, do you know something? I mean, this second half, it started frantically. There was energy again, but credit to Stockport County and they challenge. They have started the second half really, really well. I mean, that first half they were very good, but you can see action areas have instigated. They've looked a lot more likely. They've got the ball out to February. Again, he was the one that threw the ball in. It was also to the penalty, but been very, very good.
Williams with a gigantic throw, which nearly fell for Donnelly. Well, they will feel a little calmer about proceedings now, albeit still frustrated by the events of the first half.
It wouldn't have been a nice thing, would it, to come away from here with a defeat, particularly the manner and the style. That's why you have to credit how professional they've gone about it. Quite easy, Console can be disappointed and angry, but they've got on with things. There's enough experience out there.
This is what they do when someone scores against them. If anything, they get stronger. The recoveries are there for all to see throughout the course of the season. Certainly in the short term, we have another one playing out right in front of us here. Brad Hills. Horsfall. Collar back to Norwood.
Go, go!
Coriadai deciding ultimately to go along towards Kyle Wooten. Tangling with Cooper. On from Fevrier. Collar trying to tuck in behind Beckles. Fevrier changing pace, and he's hacked down by Williams, and he'll be in the book as well.
He's been brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I know that I criticised probably his end product, but I mean, just he's toying, he really is, and that's why he draws the foul, he gets the yellow card. And now Williams, it's just because he's got that quick injection of pace, which he's utilised brilliantly this afternoon. Have to keep getting the ball out to them wide areas. Every time that Stockport have got the ball, they're looking to really get in on the ball. in 1v1 battles, 1v1 duels. He's on top at the moment.
And that's the kind of change of pace and display of trickery that Randall Williams wants to do at the other end of the field. Instead, he's very much on defensive watch here with the rest of his team. Another Ollie Norwood dead ball here. Plenty in blue to aim at. Oh, Fraser Horsfall! From nowhere! Stockport County, the comeback kings of League One, have turned the tie right around.
Oh my word. I mean, I felt that this has been coming and coming. You obviously got the equalising goal that was the penalty. I'm just wondering how easy this is. But it's an absolutely golden goal, isn't it, for the away side? Horsfall gets it. It's a teasing, delightful ball from Ollie Norwood. How on earth? Fraser Horsfall gets on this far too easy, gets away from his marker. I think it's Sean Clare that's the one that just doesn't follow him all the way in. You have to do that job, or someone has to come, whether the goalkeeper makes that call, but it's far too easy when you've got a defender approaching a tantalising cross, as it was from Ollie Norwood. But what a bullet of a header that was.
Well, it's the signal for a double Leyton Orient change. Tom James, who hasn't played since the 5th of April due to a shoulder injury, comes back into the mix. Jack Curry, who's been out of late with injury issues as well. On he comes Randall Williams and Brandon Cooper, the two replaced.
Well, how crazy is that? This is where it's all been down this right-hand side. Caused so many problems, and that's why maybe just freshening things up, because Fevrier has caused no end of danger and problems.
Well, how quickly things can turn around in the playoffs. I often say it is the greatest show on earth. It is where teams maybe turn on the style, maybe ties get turned on their heads. Hearts are broken. We're yet to know who will be celebrating from this tie, but both teams have had their moments already. Stockport County's fans are the ones you can hear now. Let's not forget that these two sides have come a long way in a relatively short space of time. Both tussling in the National League not too long ago. Fighting hard in League Two, now with eyes on the Championship. And Stockport County are just pushing and pushing and pushing here.
Yeah, they are. There's more energy, they feel it, don't they? There's a confidence, there's an aura about this Stockport County side. Momentum in this second half, the 2 goals, they want more.
Well, if you think this site looks familiar, it's because it's exactly the scenario from a few minutes ago. Ollie Norwood over the ball, and plenty in blue, plotting a path to goal. Floated in by Norwood. Plenty trying to attack it. It actually came off the back of Clare there before being gathered by Keeley.
And that's how the first one should have been defended. There's no way. They weren't allowing Stockport County to have their own way as that ball. And it was a carbon copy, wasn't it?
Beckles. Abdullahi trying to find a way past Hills, then he had a grab at Moxon, and that's a yellow as well. Leyton Orient have to be a little careful here because it's all unravelling for them. And there's still a whole 90 minutes to play in a few days' time.
Yeah, this is not over at all. No, it's not. And they just have to weather the storm that Stockport County are thrown at them at the moment.
Norwood who took it down really well, but the whistle has gone. A little bit of forceful contact in there from the big striker. Who scored the only goal when these two sides met a few months ago. February the 1st here. Stockport County won by a 0-0. Leyton Orient won handsomely at Stockport's ground, Edgeley Park. As it stands, we're heading for another away victory in the fixture between these two sides. Moxon wasn't sure who was around him. Donnelly fouled. Further changes being plotted by Leyton Orient. Team Abdullahi is replaced by Ollie O'Neill, another player who Leyton Orient have missed through injury problems. They've had a ton of injury issues in the back end of the season, which is why their form has been so inspirational, really. They need to summon some of that now. In from James. Will Collar right underneath it. 19 minutes left to play. Away by Horsfall. Touré's touch unassured. Collar hacks it forward, and Keeley with a little bit of something special. Might have set his side on the way here. It's Kelman who goes down. Ben Speedy's not interested. Jalen Fevrier happy to take the game to Orient in the other direction. Moxon. Touré back to Horsfall.
Well, that was an interesting challenge there, wasn't it, in the box? We'll go back to that, but a big call for the penalty.
Kyle Wooten has gone early, and a little too early in the eyes of the officials.
I want to have a look at this because I immediately felt that there was a penalty, and that's why Charlie Kelman's asking the question. He does well. He's in the box. I'll tell you what, it's a penalty. Norwood just takes the contact. It's the chop back there, and for me, it's a penalty, definitely.
Really, Norwood successfully using the pointing at the ball trick. Ben Speedy had a good long look at it. Forward towards O'Neill. It's another moment of controversy in a tie which has already had its headline moments.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, just wondering where Ben Speedy is, but that is, for me, I mean, it's a stonewall penalty. It really is. There's the view. Ben Speedy, I mean, I'm sorry, but how on earth if that isn't called upon, and points to the spot is beyond.
Stockport County may well say Leyton Orient had the rub of the green in the first half. So it's honours even in that regard.
1-1 then, David.
Jack Curry to take the throw. Towards Beckles, but seen off by Horsfall. James for Donnelly. Beckles well forwards. And Edmonds Green perhaps not expecting it.
Been a good response from Leyton Orient. I know Richie Wellens has made them changes, but I feel that Nats give them a bit more stability. Braith has gone into that midfield area. I feel he's got that quality to maybe instigate and produce a little bit of magic.
Curry's throw. Where's that going to land? Torre and Norwood, and it's poked goalwards by Clare. In the end, a relatively easy stop for Coriadai.
Yeah, it's a big chance. It's not dealt with defensively from Stockport. That's when it comes to Clare. I mean, he's got such a small gap to go through. He hits it well. Fortunately for Stockport, it's straight into Coriadai's arms.
Fevrier. Taken away from him by Curry. Beckles had a swipe.
There's another shout of a penalty here. Look at Horsfall. I mean, that again. I mean, it's a penalty, isn't it? Blatantly is, because they're just getting grabbed all the way around the neck, getting stopped. So might be 2-1 on the decisions.
Regardless of whether that's given as a penalty or not, it's very ill-advised from a player who has been around the block in footballing terms. Some might argue because he's got away with it, it worked, but it's a really risky challenge in a playoff semi-final. Particularly when Leyton Orient have to be so careful here that the tie doesn't get away from them from such a position of promise. Galbraith. Horsfall's header. Clare with collar. Donnelly for Galbraith. Through neatly for O'Neill. Taking the game to Stockport County, just couldn't quite poke it Donnelly's way. Three in the middle in red, looking for it, and Horsfall got a telling touch.
What a ball and what a clearance that was. This game's flipped again. Now works right hand side, teasing cross. Horsfall has to make sure that he gets that away.
In from Curry and out from Hills. Alafe back there in defensive mode. For the moment, they all are in blue. As you say, the pendulum has well and truly swung in the other direction. Edmonds Green. On for Curry. O'Neill trying to sweep it across. Instead, it's with Galbraith. Sean Clare. Galbraith clipped by Moxon, but the game allowed to go. Donnelly. Curry. Galbraith just waiting for the substitute to get into position. Just tried to fire that in towards the run of Donnelly.
It's been good though, as the response has been excellent from Leyton Orient. I can understand why Stockport County are obviously going to sit back. That's a little bit of a cushion now, which has flipped this game on its head. So you can understand why that momentum's changed.
Stockport County now looking at the options on the bench. Just starting to see a few feeling the effects of nearly 80 minutes charging around in the sunshine. That's one of the manager's jobs, of course. There are many. Ultimately looking at those who might be struggling a little bit, but perhaps might not want to admit it. Making the right call for the collective, not just the individual. Lewis Bate is poised to enter the action. Ryan Rydell as well. Sean Clare. Coleman gives chase with Ethan Pye. He calmly sees it out. There have been some big performances for either side here today. And the majority of those who started this will have to pick themselves up and go again on Wednesday. Unusual to see wholesale changes from the first leg to a second leg. Beckles. O'Neill. Again, there's plenty going on off the ball, this time O'Neill and Hills. Olafe showing his strength and determination. Toure. Sean Clare blocked the path for the 1-2. Triple change then for Stockport County. As Rydell, Connolly and Bate all sent on for the final moments. Will Collar is removed. Jaden Fevrier as well. Likewise Brad Hills. Dave Challoner trying to get his instructions across. Ollie Norwood conducting the orchestra as he does from the middle of the park, making sure everyone knows their roles.
He's a leader. Usually just freshening things up. Maybe a few tweaks, changes defensively. Mindful of that second leg. Ben
Speedy just reminding those in red that he has stopped the watch. He'll add all the time on. These changes have taken a fair while to take place. Lafay with a strong and determined run. Hellman's touch, he does get the throw in the end. Header. grounded momentarily. This is Connolly. Rutten takes it down neatly, looks for a bit of support, which he gets from Moxon. Rydell lost his bearings. Stockport County ball. Those in blue all the while. Willing to speed things up a little. Connolly's throw. He saw the darting run of Moxon, as did Beckles, though. He well and truly closed the door.
We've got KG into this game. Anything could happen.
Beckles for Curry. Tom James moves it on to Edmonds Green. Braith for O'Neill. Squeeze through the gap between Connolly and Moxon. Braith slaloming through, taking out Donnelly. Jay now, with 5 to look for in the middle, and that could go anywhere. It's O'Neill who hits it. They're screaming handball. It's a penalty. This first leg takes another twist. It's another talking point. And this time it's in Leyton Orient's favour.
It's been unbelievable, this has. I need to lie down after this game, I'll tell you that now. But I did see a big arm away, and then Speedy, well, he took a long time to really view and make his call. Jay throws that ball in, and then the ball played here. I mean, it's way away from his body. There's clear contact as O'Neill takes that strike on. I mean, it's so harsh because he just can't do a thing about it. The problem is his arm's so far away from his body, Horsford, that he's got nothing he can do because he's going to make a challenge. I mean, it's so difficult.
It will be Charlie Kelman. Kelman takes, Kelman scores. It has been a roller coaster ride from day one in this League One season, and the adventure continues. Leyton Orient level, parity restored.
I mean, from both ends of the pitch, just have a look at this. We've seen Norwood step up, confident, cool, composed. That's exactly what Charlie Kelman did. He knows it's such a big goal for Leyton Orient, and he does it brilliantly. I mean, have a look at that. I think it's so harsh, but your arm's away from your body, you're always running a risk. What a game this has been.
Oh, what a game. And the good news, if you're a neutral, is that we're going to do all this again on Wednesday. And the picture might change before we get there. Kelman, Donnelly, and Corey Adai Came to Stockport County's rescue, and somehow Donnelly bounces back up to get on with it.
Yeah, what clever little pass this is from Kelman. Just peels away. It's a clever, well-weighted, outside of the boot pass. Donnelly just tries to maybe shoot at that near post, but Dida's brilliant. Big presence to beat.
Corner is a short one. Whizzed in by O'Neill, and Beckles! What a chance! A golden moment in the tie, potentially.
Oh, it's golden. It's golden. The ball in's excellent. O'Neill and Beckles. Oh, I mean, he gets full contact, and he just, all he's got to do is hit the target. Inches. Smashing the back of the net. Almost got it too good, didn't he? Too much purchase.
Stockport County double change here. Owen Moxon to be replaced by Callum Camps, who had been previously ruled out for the remaining games of the season, but has recovered to take his place on the field with the minutes running out in the first leg, and maybe a contribution in the second too. Isaac Alafe to be replaced by Odin Bailey. Five of the added 6 minutes to play. Norwood forwards, but into no man's land. This has been one of those days where the emotions have gone one way and then the other.
It's been a brilliant game, though, I must admit. The sun's shining, and we've seen a really good game of football from both sides. Been impressed with the way that Leyton Orient have reacted. I must admit, going behind, you felt that it was only one way it was going to go, but credit, they responded excellently. They've showed what they've are more than capable of doing.
Now O'Neill. It's a lovely ball across. Just didn't quite have the legs to find Donnelly. James. O'Neill trying to bend it. It struck some part of Connolly. And then Curry commits the foul.
I'll tell you what, Leyton Orient and Richie Wellens won't want this game to end. Really got the flow. He's been excellent since he's come on, hasn't he? O'Neill. Good delivery, looks a breath of fresh air. Gets the strike. There was a big call, handball. It's not. This one isn't, I'm afraid.
Wootton's header on. Bailey trying to tuck himself in behind the Leyton Orient back line. Curry taken down. That's a free kick.
I think it'll be a busy afternoon for them guys in the studio going through this second half. It's been quite remarkable situations that have gone on here. Really does tee it up for a brilliant spectacle. Second leg.
Fair few notes being made by Dave Challoner down there to go through post-match. Both these managers will have a fair bit to pick through before they go head-to-head again in a few days' time. Ethan Pye trying to make things happen for Stockport County. The ball, though, doesn't bounce in his favour.
I'll tell you what, David, I mean, I've got to highlight how good Ethan Galbraith has been dropping into that midfield. I know he's playing on that right-hand side, but he's been really, really good for Leyton Orient.
Rydell. Norwood. Callum Camps, maybe. Just couldn't quite reel it in. Curry away as far as Connolly. Well, this game is very nearly done, but you wouldn't count against something else happening before the final whistle's blown.
No, you wouldn't. It's just been the way the game's gone. The momentum shift so many times.
Well, Norwood has spotted Keeley off his line. And in this crazy game, it's well worth having a go. Galbraith. Forward by Clare. Galbraith takes it on. Is there one final moment in this chaotic first leg? Conley looking to just take the sting out of things here. Away by Horsfall. Edmonds Green has to watch the bouncing ball. Bit of miscommunication at the vital moment. Could prove costly. Ibu Toure. It breaks Stockport County's way. Edmonds Green digs himself and his team out of trouble.
Yeah, real big gamble. What on earth you're thinking? Right at the end of the game.
Ben Speedy has spotted something he doesn't like in the middle. One last ball into the box from Ollie Norwood. And Conley's header is wide, and that is that. Take a breath. A first leg with talking points aplenty, a fair few goals, and ultimately nothing to choose between Leyton Orient and Stockport County. A match in which controversy reared its head, quality came to the fore, and players kept their cool in the heat of the sunshine and the battle. The second leg is set up beautifully, with anything still possible, and a thrilling 90 minutes in store, and possibly more. Final score here in the capital: Leyton Orient 2, Stockport County 2.
David, Lee, many thanks indeed. And that is why we love the EFL and why we love the playoffs, eh? It had absolutely everything, didn't it? 4 goals and a testing afternoon for the referee, Ben Speedy, who's going to need to lie down after all of that, I think. Gareth, what a game.
We've had everything, Jules. We've had penalties, we've had offside goals that shouldn't be given, we've had penalties not given, we've had set pieces, a team coming back leading, a team then dropping back to defend. It was just sensational. You couldn't keep your eyes off that second half. A few tactical changes that people probably wouldn't have seen, I think have helped change the game, but wow, it's poised brilliantly for the second leg now.
Yeah, isn't it just? And I mean, what's the emotion for the Leyton Orient camp, Joby? In the game, they were leading at the break, then found themselves trailing in, got back into it, might have won it at the end.
Yeah, listen, I think they'll be delighted given, you know, I didn't think first half they were quite at it. then they find themselves 2-1 down after taking a lead against that run of play. And, you know, great spirit, you know, great togetherness is what we've seen from Richie Wellens' teams, certainly towards the end of the season with that run that they've gone on. So I think overall, they'd be pretty pleased with coming out of it. Yes, maybe 1 or 2 opportunities to maybe nick it, but I think that would have been, certainly on the balance of play, a little bit fortunate from their perspective. So listen, it's down to a 1-game shootout away from home, which I think he'll be really happy with.
And Anthony, you know Dave Chandler very well from your time at Stockport. What will he be saying to his team in a couple of minutes when he gets them into the changing room? What will his mood be like?
I think at half-time it would have been a bit chaotic, but I think more so because they didn't deserve to go in a goal down. I think they were brilliant first half, but he'll just get them ready now. I don't think he'll say much. I don't think he'll be too irate about the decisions that didn't go his way, but he'll make sure that they're ready now for Wednesday.
And from a neutral's perspective, Gareth, Wednesday, more of the same, please.
Yeah, it'd be great to see that again. I think there's a lot to lose now on Wednesday. Would Stockport have taken that before the game? I think yes. Leyton Orient at home, you know, they've probably rue some missed chances at the end there, and maybe look back at that penalty decision on Charlie Kelman that could have gone their way. But listen, it's the EFL, it's the playoffs. We've said, Joby said, 1-game shootout now. The winner will go through to Wembley and contest to get in the championship.
Well, a couple of hours ago, we heard from Omar Beckles and Charlie Kelman with their hopes for this game, both very much involved in this chaotic 90 minutes of football. Let's hear from them again, shall we? This time with Natalie Gedra.
Boys, well done. What a game. Everything seemed to have happened. What was key in dealing with so much happening, so many ups and downs?
I think that character that we've shown to get into the playoffs in the first place, it's been tough. They're a good side. They caused us a bit of damage from set pieces, and we're going to have to get back to the drawing board and address that. But I think the boys showed good character to stay in the game and to go back with something to play for in the next round. So you got a bit of everything in that game. The boys had to dig deep, and hopefully we can go one better and get a result at this.
And especially in the second half, they really came back firing and they got the comeback. So how important was it to show character and stay in the game and get the draw here?
Yeah, we know we've got goals on the team. We're very resilient now. If that happened at the start of the season, we probably would have rolled over. But you know, we know that we've got goals. We just kept going, and then at the end of the day, it's 2-2, and we now have to go to their place and get a result. But full of confidence, we changed shape, we felt better, so we'll take it into Wednesday.
Talking about goals, this one, 2 more for him. How great has it been this season?
No, he's been class. I mentioned on Sky earlier, like half of his goals have been offside. I think it's arguably that first goal was offside. So he's an absolute fox in the box. He works really hard, and look, credit to him. His hard work's paying off. He's been a handful, and that's going to hold us in good stead going into the next game. We need his confidence, we need his goals, but obviously Jamie Donnelly with his assists and everyone else contributing, I think we've got a good chance of going in and upsetting them. Yeah.
Were you surprised when the goal stood, the first goal?
Was I surprised with the goals?
Yeah, that the goal stood.
Well, we didn't realise it was offside until half-time when they were giving it a right moment.
GCSE drama, that. You got to sell it. You got to sell it.
Yeah. No, I'm happy to get an assist and get a sky car.
So you didn't even see the touch before you're finished?
You know, to get goals, you know, I speak to a lot of EFL players who have been there and done it, such as Matty Gordon, Jordan Rose, and they say always be on the move. And that's what I tried to do there. I stepped up with the line, and you know, sometimes you get the rub of the green, so you have to sell it. I'm off in that corner, everyone's got to come and catch me.
I think the beauty of EFL is that there's no VAR, do you know what I mean? And there's room for errors, and I think that's what makes this game special, do you know what I mean?
Emotion. Imagine you took that goal away at the start.
Yeah, it would have been horrendous.
Yeah, but no, we're confident. I think draw's a fair result today, so we're going to have to try and better that on Wednesday.
Yeah,
it also goes both ways, that having no VAR, because there was a penalty appeal on you in the second half as well.
Yeah, Gaffer's yelling at me. I'm going to show. Was it a penalty? Did it look like a penalty? He did clip me. I don't dive, you know, especially when I'm on my right foot in the 18-yard box. But no, it is what it is. Ref gives one, ref don't. So we'll just move on to Wednesday.
And it was, you had a really good chance as well to score the third. Still thinking about that one?
Yeah, I had a bit of a nosebleed being that far up the pitch. Gutted that I weren't able to put that in the back of the net. But look, we've gone there before earlier on in the season, and we won 4-1. We know we've got what it takes. It's going to be a tough place to go to. But yeah, look, with the character, with the depth and the squad that we've got, with him in form, yeah, we're confident that we'll be able to go and get a result.
Yeah, this team showed throughout the season how much resilience you guys developed and how much you can handle the ups and downs. How much belief do you have now for the second leg?
Yeah, we're not going to go there and think we're going to lose. We've got a confident group, good mix of youth and experience, some good pros that are going to, make sure we don't get carried away. So we'll take it into level. We've got another gear. We know that. He knows that. The gaffer knows that. Prats knows that. So we're going to do all our preparation and take the game to them on Wednesday.
Thank you, boys.
Thank you.
A great double act, aren't they, those two? They should have their own show, I think. Omar Beckles and Charlie Kelman. I suppose they were never going to come out and say they were racked with guilt at the nature of the first goal, were they? But there they are, making their way off. What a first half to this tie it has been. And remember, the second semi-final gets underway tomorrow with the return legs then at Edgeley Park on Wednesday, and then the second leg of Charlton-Wycombe the following night, Thursday. Both of those 8 o'clock, both Sky Sports Football, and then, of course, all eyes on Wembley for the final itself on May the 25th. And the playoff drama continues later today. Tonight with the first of the League Two semi-finals, Notts County up against AFC Wimbledon. Join us for that one on Sky Sports Football from 7:30. Golf fans, you have got the second major of the year, the PGA Championship, to look forward to next week. Xander Schauffele is the defending champion. Coverage from Quail Hollow gets underway on Thursday at 1 o'clock. It's on Sky Sports Golf all 4 days. And Natasha Lyonne is back on the run and making her way across the country on one mystery at a time. Poker Face Season 2 is available for you on Sky Max with a new episode every Thursday. Well, both of these teams have now shown their hands with another leg of this semi-final to go. And if it's anything like the first one, we're in for a treat. It finishes 2-2 at Leyton Orient, who led, then went behind before earning a draw late on to take to Stockport on Wednesday. So much to discuss. We'll try and make sense of it all and bring you more reaction from Brisbane Road after this break.